I gotta say I was impressed with the speech because it showed a lot of wisdom. Was that, some people, short-term thinking, what do they want to do, right? They want to say, hey, you know what, we can solve this problem if we do a 25% tax or whatever. I don't know exactly what they mentioned, if it was a tax or tariff or some type of like fee that if we charge, it'll give us money to fix this. And Bukele was like, yeah, maybe, but, we're competing with 190 different countries in the world. So he understands, the competitive, the competitive arena right now in terms of nation states and attracting businesses. And if you're a business and you're looking at El Salvador and you're looking at a tax on this and a tax on that, it's like, well, we're going to just take our business to a friendlier jurisdiction. And so he made it very apparent and aware that like he understands the aspect of being competitive on a global stage.
Yeah. So actually he set up an example that hit up close to me because he was talking about Venezuela when we had price controls in the street, and we basically had the Hacienda, the tax officials going into every store and basically attacking the business owner, saying like, hey, you're selling this laptop, it's too expensive for sale, it's too costly.
Basically price controls.
Price control, yeah. Price control. So that ruined the economy in Venezuela because people had to sell their things for cheap and they weren't incentivized to buy it again and to build an inventory again because if you don't have no business selling at a loss,
Yeah.
So Bukele set up this example from Venezuela, hit up close, explaining that, man, you can't chase business owners or otherwise they're gonna run. They're not gonna come at you, and they're gonna take all the money, all the employment, everything, all the benefits they provide is gonna go away. So that was it. I think that was the commentary that you were referring to.
If it's not directly tied to it, it's indirectly related for sure. Like the harder you make, the harder. Well, in that case, you're just interfering completely with the free market, right? Mm-hmm. Like you're not even with the free market, with the private sector. Like you're completely going in there and micromanaging their business practices to the point where you're forcing them to operate at a loss. And then what do you expect? You think that person is going to then again take the risk in order to buy the goods to then resell to the public when the government is coming with their guns and dictating what you can sell it at and wiping your whole store clean because the government decided that you need to sell it below what you bought it for? That's insane, dude.
It's insane. And it actually creates the contrarian effect, when you chase business owners and stores and merchants in general, you end up creating secondary black markets of the products who now have a high demand for it because
they're more expensive.
Of course, yes. Because there's more demand for it. So that's how you create a social crisis, hunger, poverty, social conflict because people fight to each other for these products that they can get.
Scarcity,
in a normal
man.
way, so.
Scarcity drives our base level survival instincts and turns humans into savages. So,
yes.
You want to avoid that situation. It looks like Bukele knows about it well and is positioning his country in a way where like it's going completely the opposite direction of that. One of the things that I thought was also interesting is he did mention Singapore and he did mention the UAE. And I think he said, in 10 years we could be like, on our way to the path that those countries took. And I thought that was interesting because, you hear about it and I don't know the history of Singapore. I think it was like, might have been a private city, right? Might have been an initiative where I think they gave everybody stock in the development of that city. Like, so basically they aligned everyone's incentive over there by providing some type of stakeholder allowing
On a
people to
nation
be,
state, basically.
yeah, on an, yeah. Anyways, don't quote me on that. I'm just kind of riffing here, but it's interesting to know that that's where his head's at. Like that's the goal. It's like we want to be a nation on that level, right? And so, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this develops.